Thanks. In contrast to offshore drilling, offshore wind farms offer a good way to reap the benefits of alternative fuel or alternative energy sources rather with far less impact on the environment. We need to take advantage of the natural resources of all of the different parts of our Commonwealth. We have enormous wind potential off of our coast. We have enormous solar potential on the west side of the state. We even have enormous potential for biofuels. I was surprised to learn that Martinsville is one of the best places in the country to grow switchgrass, which can be used as a biofuel. Virginia has a lot of pockets of alternative energy. We don't need to exploit the pockets of conventional fossil fuels. I've been endorsed by Delegate Alfonso Lopez, who's the chair of the Bipartisan Environmental Caucus in the General Assembly, because I'm able to help partner with him to achieve results on environmental issues in the General Assembly.
So my professional background has been energy and the environment, and I spent 5 years at the Department of Energy, where we actually approved a pilot for offshore wind in Virginia, and I understand that it's actually been, I guess, ceased. And I think we're missing out on the potential for renewable energy and energy efficiency here in this state, and we really have to change our regulatory and tax structure to really reflect priorities to move our energy mix and economy forward. And I definitely support, Governor McAuliffe's efforts to try to bring more clean energy development, technology, and jobs here in Virginia.
So I'm a fan of the fan. Wind farms are an important alternative energy source, and especially considering the innovation that we've seen in Spain with new wind turbines that don't actually use blades. There's a lot of opportunity that we can take advantage of to get more energy out of a smaller space. So we can do that both offshore and here onshore. We can take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that there are natural wind tunnel effects throughout the state, so that way we don't end up looking like Palm Springs, California, where it's an enormous turbine blade factory, it looks like. And you can put these wind turbines along the side of the highway to enable energy creation, frankly, anywhere there's wind. I certainly support and agree with my colleagues on other alternative energy opportunities. It's good for people, and frankly, it's good for business.
I absolutely support offshore wind farms. There's so much wind offshore, but there's also actually wind in the mountains. It's interesting. The coal companies have completely destroyed West Virginia and Western Virginia with this mountaintop bombing. They call it mountaintop removal. I call it mountaintop bombing because they use more TNT than we use in Hiroshima. And it leaves this moonscape. These beautiful Appalachian mountains are destroyed, and all there is this rock up in the hills. It's really ugly. About one of the few things left we could do with it, actually, at least, is to put wind farms on it, because otherwise it's useless for any of us. To be clear, I oppose mountaintop bombing. But there are lots of places for the wind farms that we can use. I've also come up with a number of environmental solutions, like allowing people to put solar panels on the roofs, sell it back to Dominion, and also ways to collect rain so we don't have sewers flowing with raw sewage in our streets.
And then surprisingly, I too am for wind farms, offshore and onshore. I think the real issue here is that we need to move to a situation where we're moving away from carbon-based fuels. It's also an incredible economic development program. It is an incredible job creation program, having led the Association of the State Directors of the Weatherization Assistance Program, which helps low-income families with energy efficiency. Worked with them for years to understand how we can make homes more energy efficient, but during the Recovery Act period, we also created a whole category of training and job development around installation of solar, around using wind, around how to deploy biofuels. And so there's incredible economic opportunity in expanding our non-carbon future.